Good morning, student. Today we are going to do the revision of pandas. Pandas one. In this pandas one, basically two parts are there. First part is pandas series, and then we go for pandas data frame. So, what is actually Python Panda? Pandas or Python Panda simply one of the Python very popular libraries. Actually, it was first author of this pandas library. It was Wes McNee. So, what was the purpose of creating this panda? The actual purpose of creating for analysis purpose means there is one chunk of data where lots of data is there. So, in that case, when the work with this data, it is quite typical. So, it becomes quite easier by using this Python pandas library. It is used for data analysis. And what does data analysis means? Data analysis actually refers to the process of evaluating big data sets using analytical and statistical tools. That means if we want to show a complete data using some tools, so to work on the data analytical basis or statistical basis, that is actually the data analysis. Now it actually this panda have lot of tools. Using these tools, this data analysis becomes very easy to access. So that's why we are going to learn this Python Panda. Within Panda, basically, as of our topic, we will learn basically two things. One is series, another is the Python data frame. So first of all, we have to know basic concept of Panda. Then whenever we are using the Python Panda, always we have to import the library, Pandas library. So how we can import? Either we can write import Pandas as any alias name. We can mention any alias name. That means any type of variable, one sort of literal variables you can assign. So this is the meaning of this part. That, for example, in this case, we'll use PD, or simply if we write only import pandas, that is also okay. So in this way, we can simply import the pandas library. Now, why we should use panda? That is also a point. So, what is the main purpose of using Panda? Just like we know that it is used for basically data analysis tool, so that is okay. But what is the actual purpose? What is the actual purpose? So the main purpose of Panda is actually read and write different data format. That means using integer value, different type of double value, float value. It allows to apply operation on the complete set or independent group of data within that complete chunk of data. It supports advanced time series functionality. That means anytime, just like to predict the what should be the future of values in this way. And the most important part is data visualization. Data visualization within will be this part, and that means after this part covering this panda, we'll go for data visualization using matplotlib. So there also will combine or integrate these pandas with that. So it will becomes a useful tool in case of analysis purpose. Now, next we will know what is Python data structure. Actually, data structure is a type of is a way how we can actually store the data, store and organizing the data in a computer to for any specific purpose. That is called data structure. So basically, two data structure is there. Data structure are basically two types. One is series, another is data frame. First one is series. We are going to learn series today or revise series. And second data structure is data frame. So obviously, we have to know the difference between these two. Series is basically one dimensional. A series always contains 1D data. 1D data. This is the first point we have to remember about series. Number second point, that is it always contains homogeneous type of data. Homogeneous means always the same type of data. Next is values are mutable. Obviously, mutable means the value can be changed. So can you tell me just like in Python, tell me some just other data type that are also mutable data type, and obviously tell some immutable data type. Just write in the chat section. Till that time, I'm discussing this one. Tell me that give example of Python data structure that which are mutable, which are immutable that you have learned on go through. So values are mutable basically in case of series. That means element of within the series are can be mutable or changed. Next, the important fact is here size is immutable. That means that is the main difference with the data frame where we can change the size of the data frame, but in case of series we cannot change the size of the data frame or size of the series. Sorry. So that is only called size is immutable. That means whenever we'll create one simple data frame, so that size will become fixed. We cannot add new row or new column, and obviously it is a one dimensional value. One dimensional means it has only one set of data, that means 1D, that means one row of data, multiple columns can be there, means in one dimensional way it is represented. So this is about the series. Now we'll go to demonstrate for different types of series or how we can create the series in this way. So, series data structure type, basically two types can be there. It has basically two types. If we go for the type of the series, we can say, or component of the series. One is basically an array of actual data, an array of actual data. That means where the actual content is stored, array of actual data, and another is with that array associated index will be there. Associated index means whenever we'll create the series data structure, so data will be plotted like an array, but associated to that or imply or addition to that, another index will be added. These are the main part of the series. So how we can create the series, basically we have to know the syntax. Whenever we'll create any series object, so we'll write just simply series, any type of series object name, and we have to use this pandas alias. That here we have used PD. So that part you have to use, or if you are not using any type of alias, so you have to use pandas dot the series method. Within that series method, and within that you have to pass the data structure. Through that you want to create the series object. This is the general syntax of series. So now we are going to demonstrate how we can create the series in different way. Even we'll manipulate also using the series. So first of all, the one by one we'll go to demonstrate. Simply we'll create a series using one simple list. We'll create a series using simple list. That means series using list. Series using list. Whenever we'll create a list, and we can just like convert this list into a series object. So let's see. For example, I'm keeping here 100, 150, 299, 300, 450. For example, this 5 value I contains in a series L. I want to convert into series object. So here I am taking the series object 1 S1 equals to, simply will write PD dot series, PD dot series. Within that we'll pass our value L, that means our particular list. This is the general format. Now if we simply display this S1, it will look like this. This is one series object. This is one complete series. Here it is displaying Panda series. Now addition to this, here I will take another example. Just like second example, I will create series using for example tuple, series using tuple. So how we can create that with index, with index given by user, simply given by user. User means only I want to define my own index. Here we can see it is a 2D. Why we are saying just like this 0, 1, 2, these are by default, it is index are coming, and these are my value, the series value. So that has come as a 1D version. So this is the series concept. Now if we want to create one series using suppose tuple, so here I'm passing one tuple or writing keeping one tuple. For example, I'm keeping one tuple 220, 35, 45, 50, 20, 20 only. So this few value I am taking. And for index, suppose I am taking another variable ind equals to. So in place of list, I am just taking my own index. Here I am keeping my index like capital A, caps B, caps C, caps B, and caps E. So these are my index, five index, because you can see here five values are there, five tuples values are there. So obviously we have to use five index. Now we will create the series. So here I have the series object S2. So we'll create like this: pd dot series within bracket. We'll pass the value t, or also we can write using this way: the data is equal to t, and we can pass the index, like we'll write under the index argument. Index is equal to ind. So what will happen? This S2 will be created, and now it will look like this. Here we have defined our own index A, B, C, D, E. So in this way, we can create a series in a different using the different type of data structure. So even also we can create the series using some list of string. Using that string, also we can create our own series. Even also we can create series using array also. For example, now we are going to recall the series using array. Series using array. So let's see. For example, directly I'm taking one object S3 equals to pd dot series within bracket. We'll simply create one direct array. So here I'm taking np dot linspace within bracket. What is the purpose of linspace, or what is the use of linspace? Linspace is basically used for to create or give some value within a definite range. For example, just like I'm using here 1 comma 5, and within this 1 comma 5 I want 10 values should be there. So here is my, okay, just like, sorry, one issue will be there because we have not imported the np library or numpy library. So first of all we have to import it, otherwise it will not work. That I was telling only at the beginning, that whenever you are using different type of library, you have to import it into your Python window. So now we have imported the numpy as np, and now we can use this series. Now it will work S3. So we can see that S3 is generated. S3 means series 3. Here it is generated, and with that default index is coming 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and with that it has the value from 1 to 5 with 10 gap. 10 values are there. So this is about the series. This is how we can create different types of series using different array object or using tuple. In this way we can create. And lastly, also we'll discuss about that how we can create a series using dictionary also. Series using dictionary. That how we can create the series. Here it is quite very interesting part, that whenever, what is the, can anybody tell me that what is the special about the dictionary? Whenever we'll create the dictionary using series, so what is the special about dictionary? Means if we use the dictionary, so what will be the special on this case? Just tell me, reply. Suppose till that time I'm writing one just simple dictionary. For example, my dictionary is D, and within that I'm taking few values. For example, one key I'm taking city. In city I'm taking Asansol, for example, Asansol. Then I'm taking just like population of the city. Suppose I'm taking this much, and then I'm taking literacy literacy percent. Literacy percent I will keep under single quotes because this is the key. This is the key. So when I give the literacy percent, suppose I'm taking here 79%, for example, 79 as a percentage. I want to show 79.0, for example. I want to keep this. So this is my dictionary. So now I want to create this dictionary. I want to create a series using this dictionary. So tell me, what will be the special about this series whenever we'll create the dictionary using this? Yes, very good. In case of dictionary, whenever we'll create the series, keys will become index of that particular series. Very good, very good. Good answer. So in this case, S4 will be PD dot series. As usual, we'll use PD dot series. Within this PD dot series, if we pass the D. So let me show one thing here. If I try to give some index, so it will not accept. Okay, let me show first using normal dictionary. Here is my this things ready S4. So you can see it is using the keys as a default index. But suppose if we try to give our own index, just like suppose I'm creating another index S5. So in that case, here suppose I'm trying to mention my own index. Simply I'm trying to take 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So what will happen in case of this pass? Whenever we'll in case of dictionary we are passing as a series, so it will give us the NaN value. That means is using within this dictionary, it will not get any type of this name key, so it will not generate any series. It will simply create a NaN value. NaN value means not a number, where values are not there. Values are not there. So this is only called that how we can create our things. And one more last important things, how we can create a series. One last topic, interesting one. That suppose if we want to keep the same value for all the index, but we want to change the index. One just simple example, same data with different index. One sort of example. So here I am keeping S6 equals to PD dot series. Here I am keeping. For example, I want to keep 100 for each value, and here I am creating one simple index for this. So 10 index I want to create. So here I will write 1 to range 1 to 11. Step 1 by default. So it will create S6. So here we can see it is creating my different index or own index, but with the same value repeated. 100 for all index. It has just like added the 100. So up to this part, that how we can create the series, how we can create the series. This was the fact. In this case, we have learned that how we can create different type of series using different data structure. So lastly, another very interesting concept that we have done earlier also, regarding that also we have done extra classes also, that was least comprehension. That using whenever we are creating any particular index, also in that case also we can create our least comprehension. So let's write just like what I can see, say using least comprehension. This topic is called using least comprehension. So how it works actually, let's see. Here I'm taking another series. Suppose S7 equals to, here I'm taking PD dot series. PD dot series, within this PD dot series, the range, within the range function I'm passing just like one argument, for example up to 1 to 15 in a gap of 3. This is my data by default. If we do not mention the data, so by default the first part will be taken as data, and whenever we are mentioning the index, so that part will be taken as index. So within index, here I will use one list comprehension technique, just like I for I in, within single quotes I'm just keeping one simple string PQRST 5 data. Here you can see in a gap of 3 from 115 5 element will come. So if we now display S7, so you can see here we can see that using list comprehension index are coming like PQRST, and because of this range function here, by default data we are not mentioning the data word or data argument, but then also the first word is taking as data. So 1 4 7 13 13, the gap of 3 from 1 to 15, 15 minus 1, it has generated the value. So in this way we can create the series for different purpose, but always we have to remember that whenever we are creating the series, that time the basically it has basically two part. One is index part, one is data part. We can change just like whatever part we can mention under index. Just like if we simply change these things, just you will understand better. Let me create another example. S8 only. Here I want to keep this range as index, so I will mention this as index, and I'm mentioning this part as data. So that also possible. It's like this I want as data. So here is it is also possible. It will simply be just opposite to that. PQRST. It is earlier it was index, now it becomes data of the series, new series S8. So in this way we can create different values. Now suppose just like there are various way how we can manipulate, so or using different technique that how we can work within the series. So first of all we'll work with the just like series, some series attribute, basic series attribute we will recall. So now we are going to discuss about few series attribute attributes. So the any of the series will take, for example, if we want to just like check any of the index, for index, just we want to see the index of any series. For example, s1 dot index will write, so it will give us the index. Here it is giving start 0 to stop 5 because it has the numeric range. But suppose if we use here, just we have created s8 or s just like s7 only, I'm giving here s7. So here you can say, see the index is coming as just like a list. It is showing us the index is pqrst. So this is the index. On the same way, if we want to display the data within that, so if we want to display the data, so in that case we can write the dot values. Just like I think you can remember there was one function using the dictionary also, values, like that only. Okay. So next we can check the data type also. For you, every series you have seen that it has shown the data type. It has shown the data type, which data type it is containing. Just like here you can see it is containing decimal point. Here it is showing float 64. So if you want to check the data type of any series, so then how we can check data type of any series? Data type. So how we can check? For example, S6 dot B type is 6 dot B type. This is the simple way. So it will show us the data type. In the same way, if we want to just like how much data if we want to contain, means what is the size or simply what is the shape of that object. So if we want to show the shape, so at one part only shape will show shape, then bytes, how much byte it has captured, then we want to show the dimension, that is endim, and size and item size. This point now we'll discuss item size. So let's see, if we write here s6 dot shape, so it will give us the shape is nothing but it will come as a tuple, how many data it has content. For example, in place of s6 if we use here s7 only, so it will give you 5, because you can see that in case of s7 it has only 5 data. Then how many byte it has contained, that is a very interesting part. So for example, just like one reminder I'm showing you here, in this case of s6 you can see there are 10 data and all are of integer 64. So already I've explained that integer 64 means every part is containing 8 byte. 8 is 64, that means 8 byte it is containing. So let's see, if we give s6 dot n bytes, it is the attribute n bytes. So here total 8 values are there, 10 values are there, each containing 8 bytes. That's why it is showing 80 bytes. That is the case. Dimension only, it will show the dimension. S6 dot ndim is the function. So it is because 1D, so that's why it is showing 1D. Then next is size. Just like if we write f6 dot size, So it is giving how many element it is containing, and item size. It is very interesting. That's why these are different topics. So you have to remember what is the importance of which part. So S6 dot item size. If you write item item size, if you write S6 dot item size, but it will may not work. It may not work. Something it may not contain. So here that's why I told it is not contained in that attribute. So up to this part, these are the basic things. Basically, item size is size of the D type. That means just like it will show you 8 for this case. Just like each part containing int64 means 8 byte space. Now, two most important attribute, that is one is hash nans and empty attribute. Now, regarding that also earlier we have discussed. Let me recall. Hashnan means it will check whether the things will contain nan value or not. For example, just like we can see S6 does not contain nan. So if we write hashnan for this one, hashnan, so it will give us false because S6 does not contain any nan value. But few times ago just created one. Here we can see S5. S5 we have created with a dictionary, so that contains nan. So let's work with this S5 dot hash nan. If we write as nan, so it is giving us true because it contains the nan value. So this is the case. And empty means if a series is empty, completely empty, that means nothing it contained in that, nothing it has contained. In that case, it will give you true, otherwise false. Just like if we give S5 dot empty, so it is give false because it has the nan value. But if we give S6 dot and also S6, it will also give us false because here those series we have created that all contain some values. So these are the different type of attribute that we can use. So today I discussed up to this point, that is up to the attribute, that how you can use different types of attribute. So tomorrow we'll discuss that how we can access the series object as well as how we can work with this in series object. Go through the previous things that already we have done. So if any doubt will arise, we'll discuss next day tomorrow. Thank you, student.